It's become torture. The sooner you do this, the sooner we can leave. I had it out here the whole time.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sorry. Hello, welcome to Press the Action Button, where two nerds talk about video games. My name is Numan.
And my name is Yusuf.
Yes, and we've been away for a long time. Had lots of things going on. I've been to Canada twice.
Yes.
You've been to Japan.
Yes.
Or Nippon, as it's known.
It is in Japanese. You've had a surgery?
I have had a surgery. So they put my arm where my leg is and my leg where my arm is.
Mr. McGregor.
Exactly. No, I had a septoplasty, if anyone's interested, which is supposed to help my breathing, but it hasn't yet.
Yeah, well, it was very recent. So
yeah, it was just a week ago, so it's been a crazy few weeks, I think.
There's going to be a problem, I think, with this episode that we've just started, and I'm dying of the heat in this room.
Yeah, that's why I brought a fan, people. Going to randomly start using this.
So if anybody is listening only to this, if you hear an annoying wind sound, that's Numan fanning himself.
That's right.
So how are you? You well?
I'm good. Yeah, I've been very good. Busy, usual stuff. Been working a lot, which is not great. But we've had a great summer. It's very hot in this room, as Yusuf says now. So I hope that we'll be okay.
Podcasters always complain about how hot it is in rooms.
Do they?
Yeah. Because you can't have any air conditioning on, even in a proper studio, because it's just the mics are right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But no, I've been good. Lots of gaming news to get into. There's been so many developments, which I'm looking forward to. And this use of a fan is maybe a foreshadowing of one of the games I'm going to talk about later.
Because somebody uses a fan, or because it's a Malta fan?
There's no video games about Malta. I bet you there's not one game about Malta.
I bet some part of some Assassin's Creed.
Yes, that's
probably there in Malta.
Or Broken Sword.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But I don't think I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, Knights of the Templars. They're not Maltese. They're Maltese, aren't they?
I don't know.
Templars Knights.
But they're quite a lot of the area. No one cares.
Forget about it. How you been?
I'm good. Yeah, I was in Japan on a very, very belated honeymoon. It was fantastic. Loved it. It was great. Got lots of cool nerdy things to show people.
Yeah.
Things I wanted to show you from as soon as I saw it in the shop.
Oh yeah.
Something that I bought.
Oh, brilliant!
I've stocked it to show it.
Actually, one of the things you got is up there at the moment. I don't know if people can see it.
I'll grab it.
And you're going to see Yusuf's bottom half of his body. That's never happened before. He's not a robot.
So that is a original NES of the Super Nintendo, of what was become more commonly known as Donkey Kong Country.
Yep.
Boxed in fantastic condition.
It's unbelievable.
So I got that in a retro shop in Japan. So there's a lot of them. I'll go into it. I should maybe talk about it now.
Yeah, go on.
So people may know that in Tokyo there's a place called Akihabara, which is their tech city, as they call it. It's just if you're like a nerd, it's just the best stuff. You'd love it. You love everything about it. You've got so many figurines like this, amazing ones. I saw some where it's like Cloud in Final Fantasy VII Remake in the dress and trying to get to Don Corneo's mansion. So there's that kind. You can get really bespoke individual moments from games as well. You're just I don't know who made that character, but I want the figure of it.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff, load of anime stuff as well. And they have these a lot of video game things you can buy. So it's gotten quite famous over the last couple of years. One shop in particular called Super Potato.
Oh yeah.
And I got that in Super Potato, but not in Tokyo. I've got some video footage I can show you actually of the
brilliant
in Tokyo. And it is it's very cool, but it's become so popular that everyone kind of knows. You don't really find that many amazing finds
Deals.
anymore.
Yeah.
But I've been in some of them. Like I went to Japan a long time ago, and in one of them they were just like row after row of like Game Boy, like the Game Boy Color, Game Boy
Yeah,
Advance,
that's
all these different ones, and they're all second hand, but they're in amazing condition.
Yeah.
And they're like €5.
Japan is like a used game, not just gaming, a used market dream. Like
Yeah.
my car that I got from Japan is just like an unbelievable shape on the inside. They just take care of things so well.
They
It's
do.
just-
Do you know why they do that?
No, why?
They have a kind of a. I mean, I think it's more of a culture thing that they have rather than like a deep kind of thought process that's kind of there. That in their culture there's an idea. I think it's from Shintoism that everything kind of has its own living kind of spirit in it in its own
Alright.
way, and then therefore everything should be treated with respect because of
Okay.
that. So because of that, it just means they just don't treat anything like shite because they just think there's more to it than being a inanimate object.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like a bit like kind of feng shui or something. Everything has an energy or something.
I don't know. Maybe there might be some crossover with it. The kind of idea of just like there being like a spirit, so a life in things in some
Alright.
ways, which I think is also like a lot of their quite cool cryptids in mythology can be where like items can be cursed, you know, and like something, a building can be cursed, or like, you know, there could be like a doll or something which was somebody had when they were going through a lot of trauma, and then that takes it on, that kind of idea.
Maybe that's why you got this on the cheap. There's something wrong with it, Yusuf.
That wasn't that cheap. It was pretty cheap, but there was loads of different ones that were in different condition. But that was one of the better ones.
I mean, did their like Super Nintendo boxes like come like this typically? I mean, it's not like what we got in the West.
I think that is their one. Yeah,
'Cause this is like looks like a VHS cassette.
yeah.
You know?
I think that remember these always come with little booklets though and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that like everything is in Japanese, apart from Super Donkey Kong.
That's very Japanese though.
It is, and then
Yeah.
at the back, for sale and use in Japan only,
Yeah.
in English. I mean, if it's only for use in Japan, maybe they think someone's going to take it and they better read it, you know? If they're
Maybe.
abroad with it and they're like, oh no, this is only for use in Japan, I better not use it.
I don't know. Maybe there is just something else they have to put onto it because a lot of people were trying to maybe buy them for cheap in Japan and send them over to America
Yeah.
or the US, or sorry, America or Europe.
Was it called Super? It wasn't called Super Donkey Kong in... It was called Donkey Kong Country.
See, I think that's when they. I don't know if that's when they just relaunched it, but I mean that does
Yeah.
happen quite often. They change the names of games in
true.
Japan.
That's true. Like Biohazard.
Exactly, yeah, or
Yeah.
for Resident Evil.
Look at the face on that ostrich.
It's great. That old.
I think his name is Stretch, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Yeah, so there are a lot of these cool things. But anyway, so I couldn't find as much in the Tokyo one, but I went to the Osaka Super Potato,
Yeah.
and that's where I got that one. That had a lot more. But actually, part of the problem was like in the one in Tokyo I went to, and they had all these games like from so many consoles. Actually, if my bag wasn't full, I would have actually bought you a GameCube. Because
thank
they
you.
were so cheap.
Thank you for the gift you might have bought me.
But I didn't. So don't expect one. And like you're looking in, it's like all PlayStation games, SNES games, N64 games, everything, absolutely everything, and also modern ones too. But they're all in Japanese with Japanese characters, and they're all like sideways, so you can't see the cover of them. So I'm looking, so you can only see, you know, like slid in,
I
like
gotcha.
a CD
Yeah,
case,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if you
yeah.
can see down here. So they're all like sideways, like
Yeah.
this, so you can't see what they are.
So
So
pull everything out.
yeah, so I've absolutely no idea what I'm looking at, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just like, and then you pull something out, it's like, this is a title that's never even released outside
Yeah.
of Japan, put that back.
Those are the titles I want.
Yeah, go to the complete other end, it's like, absolutely no idea what this is either, so it was really hard to look, because they were quite busy, but the
okay.
Osaka one was in much better, had a lot more stuff in it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I
You want
can't
to see some of the nerdy
Yes,
stuff I got?
please. Can't wait. Cannot
So-
wait.
This is the thing I wanted to show you most of all. I'm going to show the audience
He's
first.
opening bags, guys, just so you know.
Actually, maybe I'll show you this first, because it started playing music.
Yes, there seems to be something playing here.
So this is a little Final Fantasy music box.
Awesome.
So I'll give it a little.
That's Tifa sitting on the well in Nibelheim.
Yes. So they had loads of these different individual ones
That
for
song
different
is so beautiful.
different songs and different games, and I just thought that was great.
Yeah.
So I got that. That was quite cool. So that was going off my bag, and then this thing, which I got. I'm gonna show the camera first. So this, Numan,
Uh-huh.
is a wireless charging station
Oh, that's so cool.
from the Capcom store. So it's got Blanca original, like
That's
Blanca
brilliant.
Street Fighter 2 on it. So you put your phone on it and it will charge your phone.
There's a special type of phone this charges, isn't it? Like, or you have to have no case or something.
In some cases you can charge through. My case is a one you can charge through.
Oh, brilliant.
Or for other ones you have to take it out of the case.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I got that and I've been waiting to take it out, but I wanted to show you I love it. It's so like silly and nerdy. It's so cool. I got that from the Capcom shop, which had lots of stuff in it. I also got you the little
tofu
keyring.
He got me a tofu keyring, guys.
So it's just a block of tofu, a little knife,
and a beret.
And they had loads of stuff there. A lot of Monster Hunter stuff, a lot of Devil May Cry things, like Devil May Cry, different types of aftershave, so you can smell like Dante or Virgil or Nero. So
okay,
that was quite cool. What else did I get?
Still ruffling in the bag, folks.
Oh jeez, I got this from a little gadget. I thought it was a keyring when I bought it.
That's brilliant. What is it?
It's just a little figurine.
Figurine
toy, yeah. But like you get these things everywhere and they're so cheap.
Their gaming culture is just so great, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I got this, which I think is really cool. It's actually just a gift from
you got a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, this is a gift from my wife.
For your wife?
From my wife.
So it's Kirby?
It's Kirby using a bit of magic, and you see like it's hanging on a little bit of hook, and the way
so
it is,
cool.
The spell comes out of the wand that goes around.
That's brilliant.
So I love that.
Beautiful.
I also got another thing from my wife, which I don't have with me, but I will flash the photo up now.
Alright.
Which is a like retro, like little figurine thing of the different characters from like really recognizable Zelda games. So it's all in one pack, and it's like the 16-bit Mario, Luigi. I think it's Donkey Kong and Link as well.
Awesome.
So that was really really cool. Unfortunately, I left that
nice
at home. And then I've got that's all I've got to show you here. I also went to Super Nintendo World.
Oh yeah. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll show you the retro store first. Do you want to see a video?
Yeah.
Of that?
Let's see it.
Put it up there. So
Super Potato.
this one is Super Potato. There's loads of them. There's Super Potato. There's also what's the other one? Mandrake, I think is one. And there's just loads of them. Like it's just this long street that's full of it. It's full of all of these different areas.
At the Street of Dreams.
Yeah, it's very very cool. Let's see here.
I believe it's in the Japan videos folder, Yusuf.
Shut up.
Is there anything cooler than the Dreamcast logo? It's so simplistic.
It's so cool.
Yet so... No, it's just beautiful.
So these are just like, they've got these TVs everywhere. They have the CRT ones so they can connect to it. And they've got all these like, arts from it, all these games, all these little things that you can buy. Just everywhere, and you can see there at the end like some of those are just there's where there's loads of games there, and that's like one small wall because the shop was pretty busy. On the other side it's just different console games and different console games, so it was a lot of cool stuff around.
Expected a longer video than that, Yusuf.
The other one, it was really awkward because people were everywhere and they just didn't want to take videos of other people in the shop.
Enough.
And sometimes like that one didn't have a sign, but some of them they're like, don't take a video of the thing because they don't want you doing it.
Weird.
Yeah. And then I also went to Super Nintendo World.
Do share.
Or not Super Mario World. Actually, I should make the difference.
It's called Mario World. Okay.
So it's called Super Mario World, I think, because maybe in the future they want to branch out and add maybe a Donkey Kong World, maybe a Star Fox one, maybe. And Pikachu. Pokemon's very much its own place now, its own kind of brand. But I think they want to differentiate that, so you don't go in and go, hey, where's Link? Where's any of the amazing Zelda lore?
Fair enough. Yeah.
So they're it's Mario World.
All right. All right. Even though I'm looking at this video that you've taken, it's still very hard for my brain to sort this into what it looks like in reality. You know what I mean?
It's mad. It looks exactly like the game.
It's mental.
Exactly like the game.
Peach's Castle looks a bit small though. Was it?
Well, yeah, we walked through it, so like that's just when you come in, that's just what you see sitting around the place everywhere. And then so this is when you're waiting to go on the Mario Kart ride, right? So
Oh, right.
this is like you're going through like was it be like Bowser's private area where he's got like his books and there are all these different Nintendo-y references on them everywhere.
Oh, right,
and there's like the
okay.
piranha plants and there's like everything about it. There's like a giant boo in the corner and stuff. So like the cues were a problem, but the detail they put into everything Nintendo-y was absolutely amazing. And then this is just
That Goomba there is so cool.
so there's a like little switch that you pull, right?
Yeah.
A little mechanical thing that you wind up, and when you do it, you have to like make the Goomba fall back because they gamify everything.
Oh yeah.
With this, so this is a little wristband that you wear when you're trying to go to Super Mario World. Mario World. Cost €30 for this alone.
Good God.
Outside the price of tickets for the theme park.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Does it bend? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you slap it onto your wrist, and then you get the app on your phone. And in those park bits, you can see that there are these the blocks that you hit in the Mario games. Anyway, the question blocks. You hit it, you get coins. That builds up your score. You also go and you can play these little mini games like winding up the thing, making the Goomba fall down, and you'll get a key. I think if you get 5 keys, you get to then play like an interactive game where you have to hunt down Baby Bowser.
Oh, okay.
So they did quite a good job on lots of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of a nightmare trying to get to
Get on the rides.
Yeah, the queues they let too many people in.
Yeah, okay.
The queues were a problem. It's really confusing trying to get tickets. Just if anybody's going to go to Super Nintendo, this is obviously the Japan one. I don't know what's like in the American one.
They have an American Nintendo World?
They started building one there quite recently.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Because it's Universal Studios.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah,
like, you go into Universal and you walk right past like there is the Hogwarts Harry Potter world. You walk by that and the Jaws one and the Jurassic Park one, and then there's the Super Mario one. Yeah, so you get tickets access to all of them. So it's like there's so many different tickets you can get. You can get like day passes, 1.5 day passes, 2 day passes, super expensive express passes, but you don't get express passes for everything, and like all of them don't include access.
You're confusing me just listening to it.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so hard to try and find out, and some of them, the websites you're looking on the official one, you can only buy with a Japanese credit card, and you're like, what are you doing? So in the end, like you have to get the app, and then when you get the app and you're inside the park, you can't do this outside the park. There's like you enter like a lottery to get like a timed entry thing and say what time you want to go in at. So like you're going, you're like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get inside. So we got there super early because I read a thing where they were saying if you go there early, sometimes they just let you in, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's supposed to open up, the actual park itself is meant to open at about 9. People are like going, I got there at 10, at 8, at 10 past 8 or so, and I walked right in. We got there about an hour early. Thousands of people there.
Oh God.
Tens of thousands of people there. Right?
Tens of thousands. Are you serious?
Honestly, like you're going to a sold out football game.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like just so many people, literally tens of thousands of people there. Like, early.
I would just leave. I'm too old for that now.
And it's like, so we get there, then we like run to a bit where we're inside enough where we could get the phone, and then like we're trying to get like 2 tickets, see if we can get timed entry when we can. So we get one for like 9, and we're like, brilliant, great, thank God. So we go there and then we get into it, and then it's just like, the queues were just too much. They were like, to get on the Super Mario Kart ride, which was very cool. You get into it, you put on a little headset thing that's like AR, so AR/VR, and you're like controlling it, and you've got like a controller there, and you're in a cart, and you like shoot like shells at enemies when they show up. You have to get items, you have to like steer it the other way, and that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. But we were in the queue for like 90 minutes, and we were there like first thing in the morning, you know. So if you're gonna go, I would get if you can't get like a pass, like a skip the queue ticket, and you can't skip the queue for everything, it's like designated rides you can skip the queue for. Right, okay. And like quite a few of the rides were out of order as well. Really? Yeah, okay. Not Super Nintendo World. Super Mario World only had like basically 3 rides. Okay. That's like one small section, but the park is amazing. And they do like a lot of pretty amazing stuff as well. Like they were doing these like parades and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you're just like walking down the road there, and then you just get to see like, oh yeah, here is just like brilliant. These like different things. So this is when you're waiting inside to go on the Super Mario Kart ride. This is Bowser, because you go up in this castle. It looks just like the game. Brilliant, right? And then there's like all these kind of things everywhere. The detail it was made by people who love Mario. Oh, brilliant! You know, they're all the excellent Mario Kart trophies that you win. So this is the parade. So they're all people in suits, and there's like loads of people in the parade. That guy's like singing songs and they're blasting music out. and like, you know, there's Bowser throwing something at Mario, and there's like all these other ones, and like behind them was like, you know, Charizard and Pikachu, and then on the other side was like Hello Kitty. It's like this big, huge like rave was happening in the middle of the road. So like you're walking around, you're like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
like this, it's
awesome.
Full of everything really good. Actually, you can see a bit of Charizard in the background there and Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
So it's full of like everything is done really well. But it's just, oh god, so you get on the rides for the stuff, which is a bit too much of a pain.
Yeah, I don't think I would do it, to be honest, if it's going to be painful. But
yeah,
especially not with kids.
Yeah, if you were there with kids, it's like 30 degrees standing in the sun. You know?
No, I think it's 26 degrees here and it's unbearable.
Yeah, so imagine like you're standing outside in the queue for hours with like
Forget
kids.
about it.
Yeah. It's alright, I'm not making you go. I said. But it was. I had an amazing time. It was so cool. I loved it. There was definitely a sour taste of that we couldn't get on more rides because the kids were such a problem. And like I tried to buy a fast pass ticket. They're sold out months in advance.
Ooh.
Because it's really tricky to kind of know what you want to get.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
there's great demand for it, I guess, still, because it's relatively new, right?
Yeah, but even the other stuff, like trying to get on the Harry Potter Hogwarts ride or just like a generic Universal Studios kind of ride, hour 20-minute wait.
No.
For one ride.
No.
You know.
No.
Yeah. But so we got on a couple of things, and it was fun. We had a good time. The Jurassic Park thing was amazing. Just like the people in dinosaur suits walking around, the music's playing, like the Jurassic Park team. The giant gates are there, like the King Kong opened these gates kind of thing. So it was great. Japan was amazing. If you want to play games and get everything, it's an amazing place to be.
Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I wish I had such a nice holiday, but I was working in Canada.
Yeah.
In Brampton. And there's not much there.
Brampton sounds so boring.
Yeah, it is boring.
I just realized I kind of butted in. We didn't even get to do your news.
Oh yeah. Well, you were telling me about your travels, so that's fine, Yusuf. That's fine.
All right.
Let's do the news then.
All
right. Now, this week, my news is going to feature. I didn't come up with any wacky stories, even though I had loads of them. I'm not doing any retro stories or Numan's Retro Corner this week because
it's been like a month and lots of gaming stuff has happened.
That's true. So yeah, I don't want to waste time, so I'm just going to go straight to here. Let me get this recording. So yep, there's been a few announcements, Yusuf. Number one, I wonder if you've heard about this. Have you seen about this? That they're bringing out the Super Mario RPG.
Like remaking Paper Mario?
No, not Paper Mario.
The
RPG.
Right, okay, I didn't know that.
Remaking it. The 1996 legendary game, I'm just on that from the headline, is going to be coming out again in November. Only November. I kind of find these days when they announce a game, it's kind of coming out very quickly soon after, most of the time. Which makes me very happy.
I think it's good because, like, just don't say anything about it till you're pretty confident you'll get it out soon, you know?
Yep.
Because do you remember Final Fantasy 15, they were talking about it, but I think before Final Fantasy 12 was out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and then in the end it just wasn't ready, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So
speaking of, are you going to do any Final Fantasy 15 news?
I'm not specifically going to do news on that, but I would say that, you know, I feel strange about it because it's like, I sounded one of those people, I used to like that band when they were cool. But, like, you know, Final Fantasy used to be so underground. And, like, now I'm walking down the street and it's on the side of a bus. Like, not just, like, you know, not just, like, a bus advertisement, like, plastered the whole skin across the side of the bus. Like, you know, Final Fantasy 15.
16, actually.
16.
I said 15.
16. So, yeah, but, like, obviously...
True, but if you were in Japan and you walked by a big, like, you know, massive corporation... skyscraper, like a big Sony building, and they had Final Fantasy 16 on it, you go, that's the most amazing thing in the world.
I would but you know,
you're like, because it's in Dublin.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, obviously it's been getting glowing reviews everywhere.
Yes.
I know, I think a lot of Final Fantasy purists are complaining that the gameplay is more actiony than role playing.
Yeah.
So I wait to see that. But I mean, look, I haven't actually looked at anything about it. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that the main character's name is Clive.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, I don't know. I mean, Japanese should, like, you know, do some market research on cool names in the West. Maybe Clive sounds really cool in Japan, but it's not cool here, guys.
I mean, the first time we heard Cloud, we probably thought it was stupid.
No, I think Cloud is a great name.
Yeah, now, because you know...
Cloud Strife.
Yeah,
you know?
but you know
That's
now.
awesome.
But before, I don't know if you did. Or Squall.
Yeah, Squall is a cool name because it has Q in it, and Q is a cool letter.
What about Qbert?
Yeah, Qbert is cool. Anyway,
Quentin?
yeah, Tarantino.
You don't think he's cool?
I do. He's very cool. Anyway, my point is Clive isn't cool, guys. So, you know.
I saw them talk. I agree. The name is like Clive, especially because it's just like, you know, like I'm picturing just like a posh, you know,
Clive Owen.
very well to do. No, not even Clive Owen. Just like somebody who's like, oh dear.
Yes, exactly.
Like Cecil from Simpsons.
I'm picturing Faulty Towers when I hear Clive. You know, so
I know, yeah, but like so they were talking about this, and they're doing a lot of big branding for it. But I saw there was an interview with the fellow who made, who's I think a producer of Final Fantasy 16, and said that they had to win back the trust of the fan base after 15, which I think is a great indication.
I agree.
Yeah, that they were like, right, that didn't go according to plan. That wasn't what we wanted the game to be. We need to make sure that we do something better from straight away. And I've heard I heard someone making a really good point that Final Fantasy is a game series that has reinvented itself so many times because it kind of has had to. So even though this doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy, like a lot of the games, or whether like it's a medieval setting, which this one is, or kind of, which is a high fantasy kind of setting, it's quite different to like the steampunk one.
Yeah.
Or like whether you're gonna have 3 people in your team, or it's a team members you can switch constantly, like 10, or you know, like it was an MMO, or 15, which is like quite different as well. Like they've reinvented themselves actually quite a lot. So maybe this is something that they have to do. Maybe that is actually a bit more Final Fantasy than we think it is.
Why reinvent the wheel, Yusuf? 7 and 8 were perfect.
7 and 8 were perfect, but you, like if we're on 16, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, so I'm gonna wait to see. I don't know when I'm gonna play it, but I will obviously, unfortunately, play it, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. Well, I told myself I'm not buying this one. After 15, I promised myself I will not buy the next Final Fantasy. I promised myself, because I've just been slapped in the face too many times by, I was gonna say Miyamoto. What's his name?
He hasn't made it in a long time.
No, Miyamoto's never made it.
No, Miyamoto's never made it, but Sakaguchi hasn't made them since 10.
But who's making it now? The same guy who does Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, but like it also, from what part of the I think the problem why Final Fantasy's kind of lost its identity, and also lots of games are, and Kingdom Hearts being a really good example of this, is that these games are now so big you can't. It's teams of people. You know, people come in, they have they have input on some things but not on other things, and it's just like, you know, because these games are so big, they take so long to make, that you don't have, you know, Sakaguchi going, okay, no, I don't like this, okay, let's do this, let's change that, let's, you know, let's make this decision here, you know.
Well, he messed up Kingdom Hearts 2, didn't he?
No, 2 was great. 3 was shy.
3.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously he can't be trusted. I heard that they were going on about that game for years, talking about the development of it. You know, so like, you know, I don't trust you. Sorry, mate.
When is the last time any game had a long discussion of development that was good?
I don't know.
You know, I just think about like Cyberpunk has massive failings, 15 has massive failings, Kingdom Hearts 3. It's never a good sign.
No. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Alright, so I think, you know, instead of going through, I'm going to show you videos.
Oh.
So here we go, Yusuf. A Nintendo Switch. Sorry.
The renowned series of stealth action games is infiltrating Nintendo Switch.
I don't need to voice over.
Because it's the worst voiceover
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
ever heard.
So this is Metal Gear Solid. No, not Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Volume 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is Solid. So this will be Metal Gear, the 2 Metal Gears that we have on the SNES, I think, or is one on the NES. And then we're going to have Metal Gear Solid 1 that was originally on the PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid 2, which was originally on the PS2, and Metal Gear Solid 3, which was also on the PS2. This bundled together, and then they're going to give you all sorts of stuff like, you know, graphic novels that no one cares about, soundtrack stuff that no one cares about because they can get it for free, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, part of me thought I'd be conflicted about this because, you know, obviously, what's his name?
Hideo Kojima.
Kojima's gone. But I don't feel that way because this was all stuff that he did anyway. So you know, so I'm glad it's coming out, and I have to say I will probably buy it. People were complaining that it's not going to be on the PS4, even though it's on the Nintendo Switch, which I get. But you know, update your console, guys. Come on.
Wait, people are annoyed, but this is
It's not getting released on PS4.
Oh, okay.
So it's going straight to PS5, but it's still coming out on the Switch.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So people are complaining about that. But yeah, look, I'm very excited to see that. But you know, as usual, it's just like we never get Metal Gear Solid 4 on any console other than the PlayStation 3. So, you know, that's a bit annoying. But obviously, if it's Volume 1, there will be a Volume 2. And I assume Volume 2 will have 4 and 5.
I wonder, like, what is... like,
and
surely...
Resurgence, or what's it called?
Revengeance.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is an issue with the necessary power for Metal Gear Solid 4 to be playable on the Switch.
Maybe on the Switch, but like this is not Switch exclusive.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So, all right, story number 2. I'm going to show you another video. You suck.
How dare you?
What we got here. So this is one you and me were very excited about, Yusuf. That's right, Star Wars. Star Ocean, the second story, is getting a remake, guys.
One of the best RPGs I've ever played.
It was amazing. It was brilliant. It was mature. I think this was the first RPG I played that really mixed action with the typical turn-based format that we were so used to.
Yeah.
As you can see, it looks very strange because the sprites are still 2D-ish, but they're running through 3D worlds. I kind of wish they maybe updated the sprites a little bit in some way.
Surely, I don't know, but I feel like updating the sprites just involved updating, especially just do it for the main characters.
Yeah.
Just involves updating like a couple of states for
Exactly.
those people, you know, like Claude when he's running, when he's standing, when he's hit.
Exactly.
It should be way less work than
the backgrounds. Look at those
Yeah.
trees. Look at that. I mean, those are animated so well. So,
Yeah.
but look, I think it'll be. I'm definitely will play this, and I think it's coming out relatively soon as well. So I think it's
believe so.
November, and this will be on the Switch as well, I believe.
I've played this game maybe 4 times through, and there's still characters I never got.
Yeah. No, it was. I think this is the game with 250 different endings, right?
I think so. I think it's 125.
125. Okay.
Yeah. Although some of them are like, this person said a different phrase.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I mean, they were kind of being there were technicalities involved in those endings.
Yeah. But it's a proper free. You can do what you want to do. Like just depending on which characters you get means you can't get others. What decisions you make for different people. Like it's a really, really good game.
And Claude was a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And I think that your weapons changed in this game as well when you changed your weapon, didn't it? Like the sprites changed, which is
Did they?
I think so.
Maybe they did.
Anyway, November 2nd, that's out, guys. So that's another exciting one.
I remember I was playing that on, I think it was the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
And there's a thing in the game where you go to like an end game dungeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's got all these different levels on it. It's got like 16 levels on it, and you can't say when you're in it.
Yeah.
I was playing it, and there's this one kind of trick level where the enemies will one-hit kill you, right? And the only way that you can defeat them is you can get a weapon for Claude that will hit them with one hit. But suddenly 16 of them will drop into a battle at one time.
Oh,
they'll kill out your entire party straight away. So this is like, I've already done.
I remember that.
Yeah, multiples. There's the bandits. Like,
Yeah.
multiple levels in this dungeon, which you can't even access normally. You have the whole thing to get to. And I was playing it, and I was so eagerly and so excitingly playing it on the Vita.
Mm.
And I was like holding it just like, just so tight. I didn't realize I was accidentally like pushing a little bit of the lock button, which if you hold,
oh god,
turns off.
Oh god,
the game, and because you can't save it, I just lost. I think 3 hours of gameplay.
Nothing worse.
Of like the most difficult, grunge, like grueling challenge of a gameplay.
Grunge.
I meant
like
grueling.
Nirvana.
Like Nirvana, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, look, this is my last story, Yusuf. We have another entry in the series, which is what my fan was alluding to.
Oh, I had a feeling it would be that, yeah.
So we have a new Mortal Kombat coming out, guys.
Will you be good at it? Because it took you 3 times to hit the play button there.
Who knows? But Warner Brothers make pretty good games, including the Shadow of games, which I'm really looking forward to the next entry in the series. But yeah, so they've actually, I think the last one was Mortal Kombat 11
I think it was 11. I
or
don't
12. I can't remember. But anyway,
but we've all played it.
we both played it, really enjoyed it, especially the story mode. No one does story mode better in a fighting game than Mortal Kombat. It's just the way it is, and probably the way it'll always be. But they've gone back and they've called some Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, at a certain point it just gets confusing, it starts putting people off.
Yeah, well, I think they're tying it into, if you remember the last game ended with Chronica, who was this time lord woman.
God.
Yeah, so she's obviously reversed time in some capacity, but it looks really amazing. I know some people got some codes earlier in the week, so that they could do some beta testing and that kind of stuff. But it looks really stunning. And like I've looked at a couple of the screens of the the pre-fight battles where they're pushing up against each other.
Yeah.
In this trailer that we see Shang Tsung coming back. And
That's Liu Kang.
Yeah, I'm not talking about him.
Oh.
And he is basically killing everyone, and not in like a swift fashion. So there's something like just very evil about Shang Tsung, isn't there?
You hate his eyes.
No, it's the
nose.
grin. It's the grin he makes. It's that.
God.
Yes, exactly. So there you go. He's stealing everyone's souls.
He is a mad for it.
Yeah. Anyway, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it, Yusuf?
There's also a lot of talk at the moment with the latest Street Fighter. That's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, apparently it's being really loved by people.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I think these are two games I'm not going to buy.
Oh yeah, you've gone against fighting games.
I
don't blame you.
It's so frustrating to play these games and then just kind of be like, they're kind of going, no, what the whole point is you buy it, then you sign up to the season pass kind of thing. It's like, I don't want to pay.
I'm never getting a season pass.
Yeah, for a subscription for this thing, because I paid for the game, I paid for the console, I paid for the subscription for the PlayStation I'm playing online.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can wait a while and you buy like an extended, more expensive edition of the game, and you still don't get everything because they do these things. And I just like, I also find it weird that like other like game sites just decided that that's not a fucking problem anymore. Like, oh, it's a great game, and all the like the player reviews and everything is just like, it's money grabbing shite. It's like none of them will ever talk about it as if it's not a factor. Like
don't get me started on these gaming sites. I mean, I started following some of them on Twitter. I'm not very active on social media at all, and like I was just stunned how political they've become, and like how incentivized they are to do certain things and not do certain things. It was like, I remember when gaming journalists and sites used to be like edgy and cool, and like now they're just, I don't know, like you do feel like a lot of the reviews are, not that they're bought, but when you see such a discrepancy between what people are reviewing them versus what like a lot of the magazines are. So I much prefer YouTubers, independent YouTubers, than anything,
Yeah, I think
like
so.
that, so.
Which I think the thing is they're kind of fighting against that, but they know that because like there is people who are getting invited to events, people who are getting invited for like behind the scenes, like documentaries, like to look into things, to do pieces on it. They're YouTubers now. They're Twitch players. Like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I would rather it be somebody from, I'm not going to name any site, but I would rather it be somebody who was like a fighting game streamer who has played them for years and loves them and has this following of people who are just like, I love these games. Let's see them do a take on what they think of Mortal Kombat. Like, because like that's the crowd that's doing it, and I don't believe a lot of the other things anymore. Like I think they've lost their trust, and you can see that, like, and I just think it's not going to be the same. But I also think that's true of everything. I don't think any reviews of anything really can be trusted anymore, because I think it's really, really easy to get bots to give like to write positive feedback on things, to like things, and that exists on both sides. Like people can review bomb stuff with bots. They can also really praise things with bots.
That's true.
And I just think like if I'm going to then go for an opinion piece of it, I'm going to go with somebody. I just find those people are more genuine about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than I don't trust these companies.
When your livelihood is tied to other companies, then it's not a good place to be.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this before, but like that's the thing. So let's just take let's just say there's a website called Game, right? You know, like there's a store, but not a website. So say they review games, right? The problem is if they say that Mortal Kombat is shy, then the last one they're not gonna get. Maybe the next one early access. Give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
and
that's always a way.
And that's also true for streamers as well. But like, you know, there's some influencers that are clearly just selling absolutely everything for the sake of it, and then there's some who you can trust. At least I'm picking them. I'm not gonna follow
my new NFT project.
Yeah. I'm not gonna follow them. I'm not gonna follow the ones who are like, here's my energy drink and stuff like that. Because it's like, okay.
If anyone wants to give us an energy drink, there's lots of things you could come up with in terms of an idea of brothers, like, you know. So look us up.
I'd like a physical game of like, you know, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
No, I don't know what you mean.
You know those like the 80s
what about
thing?
it? Like a video game?
Like a physical version of that, but it's us hitting each other. Like
that'd be a good idea.
I'd like to sell that to people.
Okay. I think a good price point would be €40.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Someone sells
exactly. Any manufacturers, all you need to do is make it, put up the initial investment, market it, sell it, and give us a cut.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
I want input on it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Review time?
Yes, let's go.
All right, Yusuf, you ready for this?
Oh, I know this game.
Yes, go on.
Would you name him Aladdin?
What? No, that's his name.
These, what are they called? Valkyria Chronicles.
Yes.
These are really fun games.
Yeah, this is Valkyria Chronicles 4. So I didn't even know this was a game, and then I saw that it was on sale. I think it was $20. So I love how Aladdin has absolutely no hair whatsoever.
You bought me this game years ago.
Did I?
Years
The fourth
ago.
one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you play it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No idea.
It's great. Yeah.
No, because I hadn't played this since the last time I played was Valkyria Chronicles 3. Was it? Or was it just called?
No, I think it's the one after this. The most recent one that you played.
No, because Welkin is in this.
I didn't see any similar characters.
I don't think you've played this then.
I've 100% played this.
Are you sure?
100%.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is so this is I was pretty sure this was it because I think the last one I played with Welkin as the main character was the third one, and this is the fourth one.
You may have. Maybe you did play a different one, but I've played this and I've also played one after this as well.
Oh really? There's a fifth one.
This game's quite old.
It's not.
I played this years ago.
Okay, right. Okay, well, let's not argue about
Okay.
this now. But anyway, this is Valkyria Chronicles 4. You know, I think people who are fans of the game know what they're getting here. The one that I played before this was the one with Welkin as the main character.
Yeah.
And he, what I really like about this as well is you can actually get him as a character in the game as well.
Really?
And like he's another tank commander in it. So this was a game by Sega. No, this is new, 2018.
Okay.
Why do I think 2018 is that new? Like it's 5
years
years ago. But I really like, you know, sometimes I'm just really in the mood for a game like this.
Yeah.
And I was just really in that kind of mood, and I saw it and so I was like, oh, I have to play this.
I do love tactics games.
Yeah, they're so cool, and they added a lot of dynamics in this that there wasn't in the last game. Like you can kind of name leaders, and then people can follow them along. You had different kind of vehicles. Like I think the one I played before this was just pretty much the one kind of tank. You have tanks in this that can actually get people on board and bring them to other places. You have like I don't know if you saw that, but there was this enemy who's like kind of like this. They call her the witch, and she has like these superpowers and stuff like that, which I thought was a nice dynamic to add into it. That is kind of like the supernatural side of it, because it used to never have that. But I love the little things like this when you're not looking in the direction of the enemy, you get surprised. And the counter attacks. Like if you place your squad in a certain way, they can take out a lot of enemies just who are running by them when they don't have your go. Now there's a couple of things that do frustrate you about this game, and this is one of them. When you're waiting for the enemy to take their turn, and like there's actually no way to fast forward it or speed it up. So it's just like, you know, you have to be patient. But of course you always get your turns first, so that's fine. But stuff like this, blizzards having blown in. Then you could also get this ship that's in the background there that could fire on the terrain, which is really nice. And you can see here, this is your typical like leveling up mechanic. You get new new moves, new kind of commands, new orders on the field as you kind of level up, which is nice. And I definitely had my favorites. You know, I always went with the scout elite who could just run the furthest, and they weren't the strongest at shooting, but they were very well rounded. The Grenadier as well, you know, which was the Grenadier was great, right? In one way, but the thing that really pissed me off was the fact that when you're fighting against Grenadiers, like they always hit you, like when you're running, and like whenever and when it's not their turn. Do you get me? So if you're like running in their range, they'll like always hit you, and most of the time they'll kill you. Whereas when you're counter attacking the enemy when they're running around, you never get them. Never. And like I'd level them up max, and it still wasn't happening. But I like the characters in it. You know, I do like what they do in terms of the dynamics between the characters. You know, and this basically, what's his name? I don't know. Is it Claude? I can't remember his name. But and then there's another shock trooper called Raz, and you're you know, you have this kind of relationship, this kind of love-hate relationship with each other. And it was it's done really well. Like just one of those games where you can pretty much, you know, turn on and just like not turn off your brain, but like you can just enjoy the game for what it is without having to follow the story so much. Which is, you know, which suits me. So I put a lot of hours into this. I think I put like 25 hours into this. They kind of give you extra side missions, like you can do skirmishes, you can do side stories which delves into the characters more stories individually. When you do those, you get special abilities with those characters, which is a really nice touch.
You try to go back and get it in like the best ranking, and
and
you get more points and you get more level ups.
Exactly. So and yeah, the kind of the environments were pretty memorable. Those heavy Gatling shooters were so irritating. Like you definitely had to approach a lot of, particularly in the latter parts of the game, approach with a lot of strategy. One thing that did annoy me about this game as well is that it did like you had it like it would like crash.
Did it?
Yeah, it crashed like 2 or 3 times.
What did you play this on?
PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So it would just like, you know, there's an error occur, and then you're kicked out, and then like you just lost your, you know, whatever you've done, and it doesn't autosave either.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to remember.
And battles take a long time.
They do.
This game.
They can take a long time. So, really enjoyed this game. Really enjoyed the dynamics of it. Now that I know that there's another game in the series, I'm even more excited. But I would give it probably like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, just one of those games that when you're in the mood for strategy, you can turn on and just really enjoy. So
yeah, I highly recommend it as well. I think it's a really fun game to play. Like if you just do a podcast, listen to some music.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
You know, and it's not like a bad storyline either. It's just like when the gameplay is, it's about the battles. It's a tactics game. It's strategy related, and it's really good fun. Like the rage when you think you sneak up on somebody really well and they just duck down and avoid you hitting them. Like,
oh, that is so annoying.
But also like the delight and elation if you happen to like do that twice in a row or something, like, oh my god, and then like because they've got individual names and looks, you're like, I love that character, I love Curtis did this, he's brilliant.
Exactly.
And I do love that, so good. It's a really fun game. I'd really recommend it.
There's nothing more frustrating than when, like you're saying, you know you've wasted a turn because you've ran all this distance and someone ducks under your shot and you're like, oh, and they get to counter attack you. But I think there is a real warmth with certain characters that you get to like. You're like, oh, you can always rely on Aladdin. Like, it's
because I mean, like, there's more than you can fit in a battle, so you do really quickly have favorites. Like, this guy's pretty good.
Exactly. But some of them had like certain traits that just made them unplayable. Like one of the snipers I had this trait called stage fright. And like whenever she sees anyone, her AP just completely goes and she stops running completely, and it's like, I'm not in range of anyone. Like, you're completely useless. So, but yeah, it's like you're saying, one of those games you can shut off, listen to a podcast, really enjoy. So, recommended by me.
I don't know if you've seen it yet, but if you're doing any of these battles and they're really difficult, it takes a really hard time to do, and you know you're like, oh, I have to do it so well. If you ever see them like speed run it,
people, they're
it's
unbelievable.
Insane. They just like, you know, if you actually just stay next to this wall, you can run the entire length of it and finish it in one go, and nobody will hit you, and you're like, how did you figure that out? Like, and it's so annoying, guys. But there's hours getting rid of that tank.
There's definitely little bits that you realise, like, oh, you know, I'm not being intelligent here. You know, there's definitely a much better way to approach this.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like sometimes those people, they play those games a lot more than we would.
I do.
Alright, you want to look at mine?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you know what this is? Hang it up.
Oh, is that Yuffie?
That is Yuffie.
Wow.
So this is the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade
Nice.
DLC. Well, it's free if you have it on the if you have a PlayStation 5 and everything.
Yeah.
I did not play this a long time ago.
You did?
Yeah.
All right.
So it is a couple of things that made me think about this game is that it made me realize how good the battle system is.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it is fantastic, and how tough it is. Because I hadn't played Final Fantasy VII on it since like I don't know over a year ago now.
Yeah.
And it was like this is only recommended for people who played the original game. I was like, I think I remember it.
Yeah.
I did not remember
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff. Just like
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does look really good. It does look really really good fun. And this is something where like. Annoying, I didn't get any footage of this. I thought I did, but they've got like the Fort Condor mini game in it.
Oh.
So in the original Final Fantasy, it is an actual like battle you go to, and then you play the mini game, which is like a tactics one. In this one, it's like the card game of this, where you go up to people and you chat them and you challenge them to, and you get to play little bits of it. So my theory with this is that they are releasing these games to. One, because they're going, look, we're putting so much into remaking Final Fantasy VII, which everyone loves.
Yeah.
Let's try and do it, make as much of this as possible. Mm-hmm. So they're going, let's make this to get used to a character instead of having to design like 4 more characters for the next one, and no one gets to play it, no one gets to see it, they don't make any money off it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're doing this kind of thing.
Okay.
Same thing with... They're also tying this in with some of the enemies from Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, yeah.
Which is risky, because that game was shite.
Yes.
Absolute shite.
Yeah.
But it's a part of the official lore. So, you have this character, and his name is Sonon, who I think is basically them practicing what they're going to do with Sid in battle.
Who is that guy there?
That guy there, he's got a staff.
He looks a lot like Zack, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. So he's got a bit of that. So he's a completely, as far as I'm aware, new character.
Okay.
He's from Wutai as well.
Oh, right.
And it's meant to be that Yuffie has snuck into Midgar around the same time as the first part of the game is taking place.
Yeah.
She never comes across Avalanche, never meets them.
Okay.
And it's like, so I think that's what they're doing with him. So you actually don't get to play as him. He is like a side character. You get to mix up some things with him, like you guys can. So you can see there that we synergize, which means we can do some group attacks together, which it does quite a good job of. A lot of the battles are good fun. A lot of things you can throw into are really good fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a bit of a laugh. But I have this thing now, right, where I don't know if it's just I'm getting annoyed at some of the new things they're trying to do in this game, or if I'm just looking at this in a way that I never looked at the original game.
Okay.
Right? And the thing is, the like silly wackiness of some of the characters drives me mad.
Okay. Like, explain.
So, like, you remember in Final Fantasy VII Remake, so the thing that you played, I was going to have the bandit characters, those like 3 stupid characters.
Yeah, they were annoying.
They were annoying, that kind of thing, right? But then you're kind of going, Final Fantasy VII, originally did have these really weird, wacky moments, also tied in with these really weird, serious moments. And it feels weird in this game, where Yuffie is a bit of a, like, a bit of a dope and stuff like that, but then she's also, like, in the original game, she's fighting because she's, like, really ashamed about what's happened to her her country and how it's been taken over, and then she's kind of trying to practice war, really, and she got, like, a really rough relationship with her father and stuff like that, who used to be, like, a former leader. So it's, like, that stuff is true, but she is also, like, a bit of a dope, too, in the game, and she's, like, a kid, so I don't really know how I... feel about it. I don't know if it's just I look at this the wrong way. Really, but like, just you realize actually in this game that when you like pause it to go to like the more tactical thing or to find items, how well thought out this game is, because everything goes super slow mo and you get to see everything that's happening. You get to see like the way the attacks are going. Like a lot of games before, they wouldn't let you pause and look at everything because things would look bad. They'd be
that's true.
But the fact that you can do that and you can see things still moving and particles flying, and it's excellent.
Yeah, I think people forget that like Square, when they made like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, they weren't just brilliant RPGs. They were brilliant like displays of technology at the time. Like they really pushed the envelope in terms of graphics and all that stuff. So they weren't just like focus on gameplay and mechanics. They're focused on visual and technology as well.
Yeah.
And I think that they seem to have done that again, started that again recently in like Final Fantasy VII remakes and that kind of stuff, because it does look brilliant.
Yeah,
you know?
and even like parts of 15 looked incredible too,
Yeah,
you know?
they did.
And from what I see, I think 16 looks like it's excellent as well. So like, you know, they're fun and they look amazing, and you know, they've got good storylines in them. So I have mixed feelings about this. Parts of it I quite enjoyed. It's a decent length DLC, and then parts of it I just didn't really get on with, you know, and I just, it kind of annoyed me, and I kind of feel like it's the same thing where they're just being a bit silly for the sake of it sometimes.
Okay.
I don't really
It's
get
like
it.
what the Marvel movies try and do. They're trying to be funny. It's like, you know, it's not funny, lads. Or, you know.
Yeah, maybe, like that's kind of true, and I think, or you know, in the same way, lots of films or like the DC stuff, they were going, we're going to make a really dark Superman.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, no, Batman works as a dark character because he's dark. If you put loads of like humor and levity in it, it doesn't work. But you can do that with other characters in it, because their settings are different, like you know. But I think that if Final Fantasy VII is weird, because it does kind of, you know, there's like the silliness that Cloud is dressing up as like a woman to like sneak into Don Corneo's place.
Yeah.
But Don Corneo is also a people trafficker. You know,
Exactly.
like, you know, or like, oh, Barrett's like silly and David's back and forth with Cloud. They are eco-terrorists.
Yeah,
you know, it's just there
yeah.
is this weird thing. So that's
There's mature elements in with that.
Yeah.
Seriousness. Yeah, I
You know?
get you. Well, like, but there is things that I do find very annoying, and I don't know if it's just like Japanese culture, but like, what was her name? That love interest that was into Cloud in the remake.
Jessie.
She was so irritating in the remake. You know, she's, you know, it was just like this teenage, even younger than teenage way she was interacting with him. Like, you know, it was like,
I know.
oh,
I didn't mind that.
cringe.
I know a lot of people were giving out about that, but I didn't mind that, because I thought it kind of worked with one, like, you know, Tifa is attracted to Cloud, has a relationship with it. Ares likes Cloud as well. And I think it goes in with the idea of like, they all think he's Soldier, and Soldier is the super, you know, amazing thing. But I do think they kind of had the problem similar to the Marvel games of, when the more you sort of build out on this world, the more you cheapen it down. And when you're like, oh, here's another soldier member, oh, here's another soldier member, and then you're like, okay, it's kind of lost it. In the same way, like with Marvel, you're kind of going, you know, what's his name? Iron Man is a genius, you know, at everything, and so is Bruce Banner. Like, okay, fair enough. And you're like, and also, so is Spider-Man. He's also a really good engineer. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. You're like, and so is his mate. His mate's also a really good IT hacker. So it's like, okay, it's like, and this person uses alien technology, and like, oh, they're also super genius, and they're super genius. Like, it doesn't. You've raised these people up to be amazing, and the more you've built out to make, you know, realistic people to deal with them, it ends up being less valuable then, you know.
Yeah.
So this reuses a lot of this stuff from the Final Fantasy VII remake. It does quite a good job of it. It's a bit of fun. Yeah, it's not bad playing it. It made me kind of want to replay Final Fantasy VII remake again.
Oh, right,
on,
okay. PS5?
On PS5.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because I just thought it was too long, and there's too many games I haven't had a chance to play now. But it's just like her battle work, her combat works pretty well. It doesn't work as well. I found, at least in this, as it did with the other characters in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay.
I thought they worked a lot better. Like, being able to go and do like the super hard challenges in that game, and having to be like, okay, I'm not gonna fight as like Tifa in this one, and then like it was different than when you first fight as like Ares. It's quite hard, but then like you work actually, it's a different type of fight. And you're like, the fact that they did this in an RPG, like, whereas the original Final Fantasy VII, every character played exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, they're minor different. They're basically exactly the same.
Apart from the limits and stuff.
Yeah. But like, whereas in this one, you're like, no, like this one, like the magic use is a factor, and like, you know, the speed that they move and the way they can combo and when they can hit people when they're down. It's just like, that kind of stuff was incredible. Elements of it here is good fun. I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
As a free DLC though, if you like the 7 remake, it's worth giving it a go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you give it out of 10?
6.5 to 7. I'm hard time thinking. Yeah.
Okay, all right. It does look like one of those. I mean, you can kind of, even though it looks very good, you can tell that it's not. It's not like a proper. It is a DLC.
Yes.
You know, like you can tell that. Like, you know, but yeah, look, we'll see. When's Rebirth coming out? Is this year? Next year?
I think next year.
Okay.
I think next year.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, what I've seen so far in that, it looks pretty cool. So
yeah, I think so.
They're obviously doing a lot right now. But yeah.
Like, and also, like, I don't feel like that was a cheap cash grab DLC as well for the Intergrade mission there. I think, like, because it was a decent length, I think they were going, okay, we've got some stuff with Yuffie, we got to get the next game. Let's get it out there. Let's get some testing with it. Let's see how it's going to work. Because they're going to do that. They're going to have to bring in Red 13.
Yeah.
How he's going to fight, and also the same thing with like Sid and Vincent and Kite Sid.
True.
So
true. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's ridiculously hot.
I'm dying.
So we need to end it here. It's great to be back. Thanks, guys, for waiting for us. If you did, and look, hopefully we'll kind of have a bit more content coming out again in a steady stream. But who knows? But we love each and every one of you, especially you, Gunther. So anything else, Yusuf?
I don't remember how we used to end this. Press the action button pod@gmail.com.
That's right. And PTA button. At PTA button, I think, on Twitter.
I'll put it in the description.
Do it. Let me see. Yes, at PTA button. There you go. All right.
Good. Okay. Well, thanks, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
It's too hot today.